Welcome back. It's D-Day for Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan. The debate on the no-trust vote against Imran Khan-led PTI was delayed after talks between the Speaker and the opposition failed earlier today. The opposition wanted a vote on the motion, while the Speaker wanted to take up the foreign conspiracy angle for debate. The opposition came down heavily on Imran Khan, and the Speaker, the leader of opposition in the National Assembly, Shehbaz Sharif, hailed the Supreme Court's ruling and asked the Speaker to follow the apex court's order. Bilawal Bhutto trashed Imran Khan's conspiracy theory and used cricketing analogy to attack the former Pakistan skipper. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi defended the Khan government and slammed the opposition. Qureshi said history will expose the people who are behind toppling the Imran Khan government. Meanwhile, the proceedings have been adjourned till 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time in the National Assembly. Pakistani journalist Hamid Mir has listed conditions of Imran Khan to let no trust vote to take place on GOTV. And according to Mr. Mir, Imran wants someone else to be made Prime Minister instead of Shehbaz Sharif, and even the number game is right now not favouring Captain Khan. In Pakistan's 342-seat parliament, a party needs 172 votes to form a government. The united opposition in Pakistan has claimed 199 votes, clearly above the majority mark, while Imran and his allies have 142 votes, lower than the halfway mark. Our guests were still with us this evening. Mr. Prabhudayal, former diplomat, is with us. Maid Ali joins us. He's a political analyst. Mr. Ali, what is happening in the Pakistan National Assembly? Is this contempt of court or is this not?
It's already a contempt of court because the court wanted an ab initio proceedings of the House in the morning at 10:30, which the speaker has delayed till now, and he has time till 12 in the night. If he doesn't do it, then he'll be facing a contempt of court tomorrow, and not only contempt of court, he'll be violating the Constitution of Pakistan.
Then what are the options before the Supreme Court, Mr. Ali, in that case, if the Speaker doesn't conduct the vote tonight itself?
The Supreme Court could warrant support from the law enforcement agencies, including the Sergeant at Arms at the Parliament House. So they have multiple options, but whatever is happening, it is unprecedented, I think. And I believe, I have strong belief that Imran Khan might step down, might resign before that time, so as to avoid this country from a political, a constitutional, and a legal, I would say, chaos.
Okay. Mr. Dayal, do you agree with that? I mean, as the watcher and someone who, like you said, you've served in Pakistan as well, someone who's watching what's happening in Pakistan right now, Mr. Ali says that there's a possibility Imran Khan could resign. There has been a little development which has been a little confounding as well for some people. For instance, some of his ministers, including Fawad Chaudhry, including Shah Mahmood Qureshi, the Foreign Affairs Minister, have changed their Twitter bio to former Foreign Affairs Minister, former Minister in the PTI government. Nobody understands what that actually means, but there is a possibility, do you think, given the kind of defiance that Imran Khan has shown, that I will play this till the last ball, you think he could resign?
Well, in my view, what is important is that he should resign. The Constitution of Pakistan has to be respected by all political parties. And Article 95 of the Constitution relates to the vote of no confidence against the Prime Minister. It clearly states that a resolution for a vote of no confidence may be moved by not less than 20% of the total membership of the National Assembly, and then it has to be voted upon. So it is beyond doubt that more than 20% of the members of the National Assembly have tabled a no confidence motion, and it should be voted upon. And there has been on display a sort of an amazing array of delaying tactics by the Speaker, by the Imran Khan government and his ministers. And they've also roped in the president, who, of course, is a founding member of the party of Imran Khan. These delaying tactics are not giving a good impression about Pakistan. They are conveying an impression that politicians in Pakistan place their personal interests, their self-interest above the national good, above the constitution. I think that sooner or later, sense will dawn on almost all members of the cabinet. And I do not know what you're saying, that the cabinet ministers of Pakistan are changing their Twitter handles to their private names from minister. But the fact is that they should realize that they would lose a vote of no confidence, and that it is important, for the sake of constitutional propriety, that the vote of no confidence should be voted upon. Now, before you adjourn for the break, you were talking about the nice things that Imran Khan has recently said about India. Now, I must point out that most analysts in India take Imran Khan's utterances with not just a pinch of salt, but a huge ton of salt.
A huge ton of
Because
salt.
he has been...
Mr. Dayal, I apologize. I'll have to interject some news that's coming in right now from Pakistan. I'll come back to you. The opposition has hit out at Imran Khan. Maryam Nawaz has termed Imran Khan mentally ill. Remember, she called him a psychopath earlier. She said, arrest him before further damage. Maryam Khan says, arrest Imran Khan before further damage. Maryam Khan, Nawaz, I beg your pardon, says fate of Pakistan can't be in the hands of Imran Khan. She has also said fake letters and dramas of conspiracy are being, of course, put forth. Maryam Nawaz has also said that Imran did all of this to avoid arrest. Is that the case, Mr. Maidali? Is that the case? Because, you know, we've been reporting from some of the Pakistan media as well. Mr. Hamid Mir of Geo News, in fact, was tweeting and, you know, sharing this with his viewers that Imran Khan allegedly has set some conditions where he says, you'll have to promise that Shehbaz Sharif will not be the next Prime Minister. I'll then allow for the vote to happen, and also that there won't be any NAB charges against me and my cabinet colleagues.
Yeah, these kinds of news are taking rounds in Pakistan, and it might be true because Imran Khan is not a very daring person as being considered by many. He gets scared when he's isolated or cornered, and he is cornered at the moment. So I believe this is true. This might be true. I don't have first-hand information on this. Hamid Mir is a great journalist. He might have some access to this kind of information. But as far as I know, yes, he was trying to make deals before. He was trying to sort of come out of this situation. But at the moment, not only deals or a fear of arrest, it is more of his arrogance. It has to do with his arrogance and his. I think he's naive, in my opinion. You know, he couldn't run the government with dignity and with the kind of credibility, and he is now creating another mayhem while leaving the government. He doesn't have the grace to leave the government. He should have stepped down gracefully. He knows that he has lost everything.
Okay. Mr. Dayal, would you like to comment on that? Lots of adjectives which are being, of course, thrown around or used in the context of Imran Khan. Maryam Nawaz, of course, says psychopath, says mentally ill. There are those, of course, Mr. Maidali referred to arrogance. He also spoke about the fact that he could possibly be naive. To your mind, as a watcher of the developments in Pakistan, what would you characterize Imran Khan as?
Well, you know, I have seen Imran Khan as a cricketer. And he was an outstanding cricketer at that. Now, in politics, there is, unfortunately, a lot of mudslinging in Pakistan. But Mr. Maidali is absolutely right. Imran Khan should have gracefully stepped down, because that would have befitted the office of the Prime Minister. Instead, he has taken recourse to this theory that a foreign power is trying to attempt a regime change and that he is just a victim of that. And it is in that context that he has said that, look, a country like India pursues an independent policy and the people of Pakistan should realize that we should also be like that. So, in other words, trying to capitalize on a sort of, admiration for India, which frankly I take with a pinch of salt. Imran Khan has said very harsh things about India in the past. He is now saying these nice things to tell the people of Pakistan that they should be promoting
Because
an
that politically
independent
suits
foreign
them.
policy like India's foreign policy, and they should not permit this regime change to take place. So whatever he is saying is in the context of the political situation in Pakistan, and he's saying it to serve his personal interests.
Okay, he's saying it for his personal interest, like some in Pakistan, in fact, pointed out as well. So if Asif Ali Zardari or if Nawaz Sharif make these sort of comments and praise India, it's absolutely considered unthinkable. It's considered to be a betrayal of Pakistan. They're considered to be traitors. But if Imran Khan does so, it's not considered to be so. So many, of course, reading it in the manner that you are, Mr. Dayal, that this is all what politically suits him at the moment. Stay on with us. Now, Pakistan National Assembly, in fact, witnessed high-voltage drama before the trust vote against Imran Khan, while the opposition alleged that Imran is running away from the vote and in fact accused the speaker of collusion. Imran's Lieutenant Foreign Affairs Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi called the opposition slaves of the United States. Here's what unfolded. Listen in.
तो आपसे मसला कि आपको अचकन नहीं पहने देनी कोई
ख्वाजा आसिफ ने कहा कि उनको खान साहब को ये तकलीफ नहीं कि मैं जा रहा हूँ, उनको ये तकलीफ है शहबाज शरीफ आ रहा है।
तो आपसे मसला कि आपको अचकन नहीं पहने देनी कोई
ख्वाजा आसिफ ने कहा कि उनको खान साहब को ये तकलीफ नहीं कि मैं जा रहा हूँ, उनको ये तकलीफ है शहबाज शरीफ आ रहा है।
परसों पाकिस्तान की तारीख में एक ताबनाक दिन था जब अदालत उज़्मा ने आपके गैर आइनी इक़दाम को, प्राइम मिनिस्टर इमरान खान के गैर आइनी इक़दाम को, डिप्टी स्पीकर के गैर आइनी इक़दाम को कलअदम करार दिया और नज़रिया ज़रूरत का सहारा नहीं लिया, बल्कि नज़रिया ज़रूरत को हमेशा के लिए दफन कर दिया और पाकिस्तान का मुस्तकबिल ताबनाक बना दिया। इसके लिए हम सब, पूरी कौम अल्लाह ताला के यहाँ सर्वसजूद है और मैं इसके लिए पूरी जो मुतअद्दिदा अपोजिशन की क़यादत को, पार्लियामान के इन सैकड़ों मेंबरान को और पूरी कौम को मैं सलाम पेश करता हूँ कि जिनकी जद्दोजहद के नतीजे में ये दिन आज कौम को देखना नसीब हुआ। जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जो हुक्म है, जो ऑर्डर है, आप आज उसके ताबे आप हाउस की कार्रवाई चलाएंगे, इसलिए कि आज ये पार्लियामान एक नई तारीख रकम करने जा रहा है। आज ये पार्लियामान आईनी और कानूनी तरीके से एक सिलेक्टेड वज़ीर आज़म को शिकस्त फाश देने जा रहा है। जनाब स्पीकर, मैं आपको ये अर्ज करना चाहता हूँ, जनाब स्पीकर, आप हाउस
Order in the house, please. Order in the house, please. Order in the house, please.
मैं आपको ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि खुदारा आज आप जो माजी में हो गया, आज आप आइन और कानून और अदालत उज़्मा के फैसले के लिए खड़े हो जाएं। आज आप सही मानों में स्पीकर का किरदार अदा करके तारीख में सुनहरे हरूफ पे नाम लिखा लें।
मैंने रिकॉर्ड पे ले आया हूं कि आप तौहीन अदालत कर रहे हो। हम अपना वकला को भी, अगर आप तौहीन अदालत करते रहते हो, वोटिंग नहीं करते हो, तो हम इधर भी बैठे रहेंगे, वहां भी जंग लड़ेंगे, मगर इस मुल्क के लिए, इस पार्लियामान के लिए, अवाम के लिए हम एक आते हुए तो आते हुए ये 4 साल खान साहब ने एक दफा भी इज्जत से अपना काम नहीं किया। अब जाते जाते कोई तो स्पोर्ट्समैन स्पिरिट दिखाता। पहले कप्तान है जो मैच हारने के खौफ की वजह से विकेट्स उठा के पिच से भाग रहा है। आपका कप्तान भाग रहा है, भागते भागते तौहीन अदालत कर रहा है, भागते भागते आईन शिकनी कर रहे हैं। अगर आप इस जराइम में खुद मुलव्वस होना चाहते हो तो आपकी मर्जी, मगर मैंने बहुत ही पहले वार्न किया था वजीर आजम साहब।
आपको अपनी सॉवरेनिटी पे आप ना बनना चाहते हो, आप गुलामी का तौक कबूल करना चाहते हो, हम नहीं चाहते। है ना बीबी, आप गुलामी का तौक तबाह करना चाहती है, हम नहीं चाहते। अब फर्क ये है, मैं रिकॉर्ड पे लाना चाहता हूं, बिफोर वी लीव, द नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एडवाइजर ऑफ यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका calls the national security advisor of Pakistan and says, do not go. Categorically. मुझे बताइए, कौन बताए कहां होता है कि एक सॉवरेन स्टेट को उसके बायलैटरल विजिट से इस तरह रोका जाए? कहां होता है? और कौन सी खुदमुख्तार कौम और खुददार कौम ऐसा कबूल करती है कि आज हमें फैसला करना है कि बहसीयत कौम के हमने किस तरह जीना है, खुददारी से, खुद मुख्तारी या गुलामी? आज पाकिस्तान, जनाब चेयरमैन, आज पाकिस्तान तारीख के दोराहे पे खड़ा है। आज कौम को फैसला करना है, सर झुका के, नजरें गिरा के या सर उठा के जीना है। ये फैसला करना है कौम ने, ये फैसला करना है कौम ने। जो अटेम्प्ट्स और ब्लेटेंट अटेम्प्ट्स हो रही हैं या की जा रही हैं दर पर्दा रिजीम चेंज की, वो किसी से पोशीदा नहीं है। ये रिकॉर्ड की बात है। आज हम हैं, कल नहीं होंगे। हमसे बड़ी बड़ी हस्तियां यहां होती हैं, हाँ आप भी नहीं होंगे। इंसान फानी है, इंसान फानी है। एक लम्हे का मुझे पता नहीं है कि अगला दांत, अगला सांस होगा नहीं होगा। इंसान फानी है किबला, इंसान फानी है। मौत बरहक है। यहां बड़ी बड़ी हस्तियां हो गुजरी, बड़े बड़े नामवर लीडर यहां पैदा हुए, इस कौम ने पैदा किए। आज वो 6 मन मट्टी के नीचे सो रहे हैं। कल हम भी नहीं होंगे, लेकिन तारीख गवाह होगी। तारीख, हकायक कभी छुपते नहीं हैं, दबाए जा सकते हैं, पर्दे में रखे जा सकते हैं, छुपाए जा सकते हैं, लेकिन एक वक्त आएगा जनाब चेयरमैन कि तारीख उनको बेनकाब करेगी। तारीख उन लोगों को जिन लोगों ने ये सारा नाटक रचाया है, उनको बेनकाब करेगी। याद रखिए।
Some very impassioned speeches there that have been made in the Pakistan National Assembly during the course of the day. We're of course standing by to see if that vote actually takes place in the Pakistan National Assembly. Remember, the session is likely to go on till midnight today, and there is a lot of expectation from the Speaker, but then there are charges that the Speaker is not exactly following through on the order of the Supreme Court as well. Prabhu Dayal, former diplomat, and Mr. Mahad Ali, political analyst, continue to be with us. Mr. Mahad Ali, in terms of the numbers right now in the National Assembly, how are they stacked up? We do know that the PTI has approached the Speaker and asked for 20 rebel PTI MNAs to be disqualified. Otherwise, how do the numbers stand?
At the moment, I think the United Opposition has around 176 members in the House who are not from PTI. Who were PTI allies. They are from MQM, they are from Pakistan Muslim League CAF, Q of course, and they are from BAP party, which is Balochistan Awami Party, and ANP and other parties, including JUIF of Maulana Fazlur Rahman. So they have 176 people in the
Okay.
house at the moment who are not from PTI, but they have around 19 to 20 PTI dissidents on a standby within the premises of the National Assembly, who could be used in case the Speaker tries to sort of play a trick with the opposition. And as far as this reference is concerned, it doesn't have any legal, I would say, standing, because these members have not committed any action till now. They haven't
But can we
made
say,
any- they
Mr.
haven't-
Ali, can we say that even if these 20 PTI members stood to be disqualified, the opposition still has the numbers to topple the Imran Khan government?
It has the number. It has the number. There are 176 members who are sitting in the National Assembly since morning, and they are there. They are not even going to toilet.
Right. And also, Mr. Ali, if you can throw some light on these charges that allegedly Imran Khan wants to be secure from, corruption charges, that he wants to basically be told that they will not be leveled against him, he will not be arrested. What is he exactly trying to escape from?
You see, I have heard much about Imran Khan's status of not being corrupt. It's not so, you know. There are, I think, at least half a dozen scandals involving sugar, involving wheat flour, involving, I think, this what we call fertilizer, involving thugs. So there are many allegations against him, and there are many others which do not directly involve money, but those are the cases of mismanagement, where it is to be proved whether that mismanagement was done on purpose to benefit somebody else or not. So he has a lot of cases, and there is a family case as well. You might have heard the name of Ms. Farah, who has flown to UAE. Her husband and she has escaped from Pakistan, and there are charges of her being sort of front person of Imran Khan in Punjab, from where she was calling the shots instead of Usman Buzdar, the CM of Punjab. So there are many things, and once this government goes, then we would find we would see a Pandora box opening, and things would come out, and that is the time when when the PTI's real test starts, when we'll see whether it would be able to keep intact its support within the masses and from within the houses.
Okay. Mr. Prabhadayal, I'll come across to you right now. In terms of what is happening in Pakistan, the developments in the way that they have panned out, with the army staying out of the picture completely. We, of course, have known for the army to play an active sort of a role, quote unquote, as far as the politics of Pakistan is concerned. But this time, of course, the fissures are completely out in the open. The fact that General Bajwa and Imran Khan do not get along out in the open. How do you see that, sir?
Well, I think that the army is probably playing a role behind the scenes. The situation is very messy in Pakistan at the moment. So the army doesn't want to get directly involved. It wants the Supreme Court to sort out this problem according to the Constitution. And that is precisely what the Supreme Court is trying to do. Now, the problem is arising because the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker are from Imran Khan's party, and they are behaving as party loyalists rather than as neutral persons, which they should, according to the principles of parliamentary democracy. Now, I don't think that the army wishes to get involved in the political mess at the moment. Of course, if things get out of hand, if there is street violence, if law and order breaks down, then it might become necessary for the army to intervene. But at the moment, the situation is only one of political upheaval, political instability, and the Constitution of Pakistan provides enough remedies which should be able to sort out the situation. So the army, I think, wants the problem to be resolved in a constitutional manner rather than having to get involved in trying to sort it out directly.
Mr. Ali, would you agree with that view?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
He's got on. Because had army decided to sort of intervene directly into this whole mess, they would have come much earlier. Because it's been going on for days now. So we have already lost face, diplomatic face in the world. There are many things that have happened in the past 3-4 days which have damaged the image of this country, and that is very sad to know. This shouldn't have happened. The army should have, if had they decided, would have come earlier. So
Okay.
they have not.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Mahid Ali and Mr. Prabhudyal, thank you so much for joining us with your perspectives. Of course, this is a developing situation. We're expecting that the National Assembly will be reconvening in a few moments from now in Islamabad, and we have to wait and see what exactly transpires after that. Just ahead of the adjournment, of course, we know that the opposition was protesting and demanding a vote on the no confidence motion brought forward by them immediately. We're slipping into a very short break. Stay tuned. Our continuing coverage of the developments in Pakistan will continue on the other side of this break.